everyone. This message is going to be a little bit far out, I think, and far out in the true meaning of that expression. I'm going to talk about the universe and Big Bang. You know that I've been talking about time many times, no pun intended, on this podcast, in my vlogs, and that time doesn't really exist. That the future and the past are just mental constructs, they're illusions. We have memories of the so-called past and we have visions of the future, but what really exists is just the now moment. But here on this earth plane, in this three-dimensional world, we have what we call time, which is in fact a delay. We have to wait until things manifest, and that's perhaps because we need to learn certain things. So it's arranged that way. And we are taught that the universe is 13.7 billion years old. That's the time frame that has been calculated from the so-called Big Bang, the singularity, when everything was created in the universe, every energy and particle and everything that then became the planets and the other celestial bodies and living things like human beings. 13.7 billion years from the Big Bang until now. But I've always wondered, why use the same mind frame as we are using here on Earth to talk about the universe being 13.7 billion years? What kind of years? Earth years? I mean, does that even make sense in the universe, in deep space? So, I mean, we know already from Einstein that time is relative. So that's nothing. It's nothing weird about thinking in other ways when it comes to these time frames. I mean, when you go far out into space, time can go slower or it can go faster. That is mainstream science now. There's nothing strange about that. So why talk about 13.7 billion years, and what does it even really mean? I say that the Big Bang theory, I mean, I'm not here to say that the Big Bang didn't happen. I just want to bend your minds a little bit, because I'm bending my own mind. I'm thinking about these things, and I'm thinking that everything is possible. Anything is possible. So, especially when you talk about different dimensions. So, the Big Bang theory is a creation myth. Of course, it's a creation myth like many other creation myths, which is consistent with the way, the scientific way we are thinking about things. We are viewing things here on Earth today. So, and it's consistent with the way we conceive the world from our temporary finite mind, as Rupert Spira would have put it. I guess I've listened to a couple of very interesting interviews with Rupert Spira lately. So, my thought is that the Big Bang is a viewpoint. It is a viewpoint, and I'm not sure that it actually happened that way, the way that we look at it. It looks as if it happened from the viewpoint that we have here on Earth when we look at space from this plane and calculate things, speed of light, background radiation, everything that we see out there. It looks as if the Big Bang happened, and it looks as if it happened 13.7 billion years ago. And so you could say that it looks like the universe was born and probably will die, like everything else in our world, the world that we know of, is born and dies, is born and dies. Plants, animals, human beings, planets, everything is born and dies. So I'm thinking that maybe it's arranged in this way. It's arranged in a way for us to see it as if the universe was created once or started once, and then is going to end at one point. But it is, as everyone knows who's been pondering these things, it is really, really difficult to imagine what was before the Big Bang and what is outside of the universe that we know today. There is, of course, nothing. So, I mean, in a sense, it can't have happened that way, because it must have existed always, like everything has existed always. So this is a bit, I told you, I warned you, it's going to be far out, and it's going to be, yeah, a bit strange here. But anyway, I had this inkling when I meditated the other day, or this little notion, this little epiphany, maybe you can call it, if you want to be grand about it, that we have been conditioned from the universe to see it this way in order for us to understand that we all have the same origin, that we are all one. Because if we have the Big Bang creation myth, the Big Bang theory, it is very, very easy, straightforward for a human being on this earth plane to realize that we're all made of stardust, the same stardust. We all originated in the same singularity, which means that all the energy, all the particles that we are made of, they have the same origin, which is a wonderful thing, which is a wonderful notion to have. And it should help us to love our earth more and love our neighbor more, and be less hostile towards other living creatures. So I had that epiphany, or that thought, that it's this viewpoint, we get this viewpoint, we what's the word? We evoke this viewpoint here on Earth. We evoke the viewpoint of the Big Bang theory, the Big Bang creation myth, in order for us to more easily understand that we're all one. And even materialists, even physicalists can understand this. I mean, even those people can see that we're all one without having to take in all this so-called, spiritual stuff in it. So I think it's a wonderful thing. Maybe that's the whole point of us thinking about the Big Bang in the way that we do, that it's happened 13.7 billion years ago, whatever years that is out in space, as I said. So, and I think without that metaphor, that creation myth, that viewpoint, it will be even more difficult for human beings to realize that we're all in this together, and we're all one consciousness, one creation. So maybe there is no Big Bang. Maybe there was no Big Bang. Maybe it all existed always, everywhere, all the time. That's my little message today. Have a nice week now. Bye-bye.